left, looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
Here we go with Charles. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
Oh, 4th and short, right at midfield. This is where you tell your offense, I've got faith in you guys to get me a few yards. And sure enough, they repay that faith and keep the drive moving with a 1st down.
So they pick up the 1st down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. On 1st and 10, Smith. Penalty marker is down here. Certainly some contact there, and that's why there's a penalty on the defender for pass interference.
So hard to time it up for a defender to hit the receiver when the ball arrives. Got there a little bit early on that one.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. Boy, not what you want to see in Q1 of the new year. We'll be back. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. A 1st down carry here for Charles. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. A dump off for Charles. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Smith on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Yeah, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on 3rd down after having such a long drive going.
Hey, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And this will be a touchback, so a first chance here in week 1 to see the ball be brought out with the new rule to the 25-yard line. Shipped together here from the D-line. They come out here in the I. They'll run with his 2nd-year man. It's Melvin Gordon. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And here's a look at the starting offense. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Henry's got it out on the left side. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Hunter Henry out of the University of Arkansas was definitely the consensus top tight end in the 2016 draft. I thought he might sneak into the 1st round. He didn't, but I think that Phillip Rivers is really happy to have him in San Diego. They're already starting to make that connection.
Now Gordon on 1st down. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And let's take a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City.
Justin Houston is truly one of the elite pass rushers in the league. Knows how to get to the quarterback with a variety of moves.
2nd down, Rivers. And it's complete to Antonio Gates. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Do you get the sense, Brandon, that people are trying to retire Antonio Gates? They keep thinking this is almost the end of the line, and then he keeps making catches like the one we just saw there.
He's the old reliable, you're right, just one of 9 players in the NFL with 100 or more touchdowns. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Well, the person carrying the ball is always the easy target when things aren't going so well. But I think it's a combination with the Chargers. They've got to get the offensive line going in order to improve those numbers from last year. They weren't very good running it, partner.
No, they were bottom of the AFC, second to last in the entire NFL. So that one will get them halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
Melvin Gordon's rookie year was a far cry from his last season at Wisconsin, wasn't it?
Boy, it was. Yeah, we got the numbers right here. 3.5 yards per carry, 641 yards, no touchdown.
Well, I think his team is really looking to do things to help him break out and get back to that Wisconsin form in 2016.
Looking for his tight end Gates, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Again, it's Charles. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
As a guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet, and you're hoping they carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from? Tough to find open spots.
So the Chargers trot out their dime package, expecting a throw on 3rd down. Smith now to throw. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now San Diego getting set to go. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Rivers. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. that one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. And not great starting field position here for the offense. From the end zone, Smith. The tight end, Kelsey, has it over the middle. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves its sticks.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back.
Yeah.
He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
They come out here in the eye. They pitch it to Charles. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 10th carry now for Jamaal Charles. And some space here. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And he's got the hook up for the first time with a veteran, Jeremy Maclin. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves to James.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They go back to the ground now with Charles. And down to the 36-yard line here. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
To the right side, it's Kelsey. And inside the 20 before it's brought down. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Now a play fake here on first down. His throw caught right around the 6. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. From the 2-yard line now, it's 1st and goal. Here's Charles. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Jamaal Charles punching it in from a yard away. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Good to see Jamaal Charles back in the end zone. Of course, he had that ACL tear in Week 5 last year.
I've loved his game since he was at the University of Texas. His ability to hit the home run with his speed, but underrated as a guy who runs between the tackles as well as catches the ball in the backfield. Combined 33 touchdowns the previous 2 seasons before the knee injury. He's back and in a big way.
You know it all. Who says you don't prep with numbers? Nobody.
Got to do a little prep. Got to do some prep.
And the Chargers coming out on the field now. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it up. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time. And it'll be 2nd and 10. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. Room here to run. There goes Melvin Gordon. 20, 10, ahead. And all the way in. Touchdown, San Diego. Melvin Gordon, 75 yards. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
And now here comes Kansas City. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
I know that play went for no yardage, all right, but I like the attempt because the fullback position, whether it's a fullback, a tight end, an H-back, wherever you want in that spot, not known as a primary pass catcher. So sometimes the element of surprise works in your favor. But on that play, give credit to the defensive guys.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And that's going to make it third down and 10. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. To throw is Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then they don't come down with the football.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch her in the end zone again. They know it's not easy.
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. The 5-time Pro Bowler, Tom Mahali, in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016. Now Rivers going to give to Gordon on the draw. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Gates has it over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 19 yards there on the pickup. And that's going to make it 4th down. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll run the option left. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They come out here in the eye. Throwing is Smith. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early. Second down, 9 yards to go. One man in the backfield is Gordon. He's going to get the football. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
I would not want to be an offensive lineman in today's NFL, especially not a center or a guard, if you got to deal with these massive defensive tackles who could not just beat you with strength, but they can beat you with quickness and guile as well. They can get upfield and make plays. And a lot of times what they're taught, just go ahead and tackle everyone that comes in your area and keep the run with the ball.
And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And out come the Chiefs now. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that
and that's caught inside the 35. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Arrowhead after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Smith on 3rd down. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean.
Now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Smith. Off hit as he throws there, incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to...
And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So backed up to the 6 now. 3rd and goal. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. 3rd down and goal from the 6. They run. Charles. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out come the Chargers. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. So 2nd and 10 here. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
He's going to be taken down here. Back across midfield, 3 yards away from midfield at the 47. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers, and that's complete to Gates. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down in a nice little gain. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
This will be fielded at the 17. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. They come out here in the eye. On second down, Jamal Charles. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Now Jamal Charles on third down. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
The way he roared up and made that play, that tells me that he spent a lot of time in the film room analyzing what this offense does, and he saw something that convinced him he didn't have to worry about the pass. He could just go right now and make a play. I think if you're the offensive team, you better file that away a little bit. Maybe think about some play action down the road. You might catch him deep.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now San Diego getting set to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They come up in an offset eye. On second down, Rivers again. And his throw is incomplete.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football.
Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And it'll be first and goal at the 7-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Second and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Jamal Charles, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. A good pickup there, a 22.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar.
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Now Gordon. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Rivers now from the 50. Caught by Gates, left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Allen Bailey in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Open man, it's Allen. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third. They got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a first and goal.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So the offense has it, 6-yard line, first and goal. Gordon, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that one, second and goal now.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. They lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here, not even a thought.
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it. Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. Charles. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
A really nice read by the offense. They caught the defense not covering the middle of the field, went to the post route, and found the receiver wide open for a nice gain.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. 2nd down following the incompletion. Out of the gun, Smith. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They'll come out in the pistol. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Albert Wilson, 27 yards. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And that time he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
The return man now is Danny Woodhead. And there's a flag on the play. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Rivers on 1st down. And he fires one incomplete. The veteran James Jones, the intended target. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 2nd down, Rivers again. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
On third down, Rivers dumps it off to Woodhead. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Throwing Rivers. It's caught. Jones. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. From the red zone now, Rivers. Gates has it over the middle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be second down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Rivers from the gun on third down. Finds his target. It's Gates. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he's in across the chalk. Touchdown, San Diego. Melvin Gordon, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Chargers have made this a one-score game. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down in those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds. Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, that requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run, because you want to know how your guy's going to block it. They want to know how he's going to run it, what kind of cuts he's going to make, and it's really anticipatory. And when you're really locked in together, you know what he's going to do before he actually does it. On this play, that didn't happen at all, and that turned into a big loss.
Second down following the run. They come up in an offset eye. Here's Smith now on second down. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Smith, and incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Rivers into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Josh Maga, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Smith will hand it off here to Charles. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run. Another pistol look here. Smith going to turn and give to Charles. And he's brought down after a good game. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
Well, it certainly appears that Jamal Charles has his mojo working right now. Already ripped off some really nice runs, but you've got to get to these guys early because if you do, you get them on the ground, put a little doubt in their minds about whether or not they're going to break big runs. But now, Jamal Charles has nothing but confidence.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say they're giving him confidence, the former third-round pick in 2008. And brought down there by a pair of Chargers on the stop. And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Now a handoff. This is Charles. And he'll get this down only. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a 3rd and 8. They'll hand it off. This is Charles. And they go the wrong way. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that's a big one there. It's his 3rd field goal of the game, and a 2-score lead's got to feel pretty good right about now.
And while they're not free and clear yet, you're right. Now this defense can go out knowing that it's going to take more than one big play to catch them.
Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
One receiver left. That's Allen. Here's Rivers. Right side catch. This is Gates. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Now Rivers. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Now Rivers toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
To throw, Rivers. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down, 3 down.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, week 1 behind us now. Always tough to start the season on the losing side.
It is, but you know, the teams that know how to recover, that understand it's just week 1, are the teams that will sustain and end up having a good season.
So for the Chiefs, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, it'll be an opening loss in what could turn out to be a rough season in Southern California. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin.